Hey y'all, back with another video. So let's go ahead and get into the Love After Lockup season finale. So y'all know that Life After Lockup is going to come on next week. So this is the last of Love After Lockup. But y'all see me? Y'all see me? No glasses, no glare. Eyes is back. Yeah. But let's go ahead and get into this review, y'all. The episode starts off with Justine and Mike. I feel like the episodes always start off with them. But so the episode starts off with Justine and Mike, pretty much from last episode, whenever they was talking to Justine's mom, giving them the big news. So they're kind of like going back and forth, arguing because pretty much it's not how Mike planned. He planned to tell, her mom together. But in Justine's defense, she was basically saying, you was late. And my mom already cracked the code. She already figured it out. So I had to go ahead and tell her. So they're pretty much talking about that. But at the end of the day, Justine's going to do what she wants to do. I don't really think, even if Mike did come on time, she was just going to flat out say it or just tell her. So pretty much it's like she's upset because Mike was, late or pretty much. And she actually starts expressing herself, like how she feels, and which I appreciate because usually Justine is just going to shut down and she's going to have an attitude, her way or the highway type thing. But she was actually, expressing herself like, I feel like I had to do that by myself, blah, blah, blah. So they talk about that. And Mike said that he was late because he was in the studio. Please let it go. Like, Mike is actually, he wants to go ahead and tell Justine's kids and everything, but Justine's kind of like, okay, well, what about your family? What about telling them? And he's like, I don't know yet. So he's kind of like hesitant, which I'm like, that's weird because you making her tell everybody and their mama on this side, but you don't want to tell them on this side. But anyway, so then y'all, we get into Eris and Cameron. So remember last episode, Cameron got pretty drunk and was just talking crazy, just doing whatever. So they wake up in the hotel room. Well, Eris wakes up first because she's all up and ready. I think she said it's like 1 o'clock or something like that. And Cameron's still asleep. He's still hungover or whatever. So pretty much Eris is upset and she says that Cameron threw his ring at her and everything last night. So it sounded like they had a lot going on. But Cameron wakes up and he don't remember nothing. He's basically like looking to Eris to tell him what happened. Like, he got so drunk he blacked out. Now I understand he wanted to celebrate and with his family, do whatever, but for you to get blackout drunk, you do not know your limit, Cameron. And his defense was, well, I've been locked up for 30 months, so I don't really, my tolerance is different. So if you knew that, why would you keep drinking, keep drinking, keep drinking? Especially when you sat on that table and then you was like, hand me the bottle. No, like, no limit. So, of course, Cameron's going to get drunk till he can't get drunk no more, pretty much. That seems to be his little habit or whatever that he do. But this is the thing with Eris and Cameron. Eris, you knew how he was already and you still decided to marry him. Like, you were literally getting him out of trouble for drinking whenever he proposed to you and said, basically, let's get married tomorrow. And you was like, okay. So why in your head did you think that he was finna wake up and be a different person? Like, you didn't even give him the opportunity to prove it to you, to show you that he can do better. Like, you really just rushed it thinking, oh, this ring is going to make him be a whole different person. Like, what do you think he is, a superhero where he put on a ring and he just got some magical powers? No. So I be trying to like see where Eris is coming from, but in the same sentence, I'm like, he showed you exactly how he was, and you just expected him to wake up and be some different person. Like, it don't work like that, baby girl. But so it's like I kind of see what Cameron's saying. Like, he just wanted to celebrate, but you don't need to celebrate to the point where you get blacked out drunk. Like, because at this point, Eris, you're really mad at him for being the person that he already showed you he is. Forgot this part. So basically, whenever he's like looking to Eris to tell him like what happened last night, so she's like, you threw your ring at me, you came in here drunk, you came in here sloppy. All he got to say, do we have sex last night? Bruh, like, and she was like, no. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, Cameron, what is wrong with you? Like, the stuff that you should have in your head right now, you thinking totally different. You should be thinking like, dang, I made a fool out of myself. Like, dang, I threw my ring at her. Like, all that. And you worried about if y'all got it in. into Ashley and Travis. Now, they're basically in the process of moving in with Travis's mom. So remember, basically last episode, Travis's mom was basically saying like, "Hey, I don't think y'all should do this. I don't think this is right now. Maybe y'all should wait. Blah blah blah." So I guess Travis went and of course told Ashley the conversation. So, but let me just say this: Travis's mom is a sweetheart. So she literally seems like one of the nicest ladies. So pretty much they pull up to the house and Travis's mom's like, "Hey Travis, can I talk to you real quick?" So she's basically just apologizing, saying like, "Oh, I hope I didn't step on your toes. I don't want to push you away. I really just, want the best for you and I want you here. So if me basically expressing my concerns about your relationship pushes you away, I won't do that." Which is like, you should be able to say how you feel without Ashley feeling some type of way. Because on the way there, Ashley's asking all kind of dumb questions like, is she gonna hug me? Is she super hyper in the morning? First of all, y'all are moving in that lady's house. If that lady want to drink energy drinks as soon as she wake up and do jumping jacks, she can do that. It's her house, and you just have to deal with it, Ashley. Like, it's the audacity of Ashley for me. Like, who do you think you are? That lady can literally do whatever. And the thing is, she's being nicer to you than she really has to be. Like, have you seen the other couples in some of the mom relationships? Like, you actually got it good right now, Ashley. Chill out. Travis's mom is talking to him and she's like, "Hey, I'm sorry." And then she, pulled Ashley to the side and they talk. And Ashley is still like giving this audacity vibe. She gonna have the nerve to say, "What makes you think that you can tell Travis what to do with his life when he's 40 something years old?" No, Ashley, what makes you think you can come into Travis's mom's house and question what she does with her son? Am I the only one? Put it down in the comments, y'all, because I'm feeling like, Ashley, do you know where you're at, sweetie? Like, you're in this lady's house. And she didn't say anything bad. She just said reasonable things. But because it's reasonable, you don't want Travis to go anywhere. And you're like, "Oh, no, 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 no. Don't listen to your mom." When the mom is making perfect sense. Ashley, what are you talking about? Like, why are you questioning this lady? And I was mad that his mom was even giving her the time of day, but she's better than me. They basically just hug it out and that's it. But the mom in her confessional basically says like, "I hope she know who the queen of this house. She could be the princess or whatever, but I'm the queen." I was like, "Yes, mama, yes," because she getting beside herself a little bit. And I know the mom was like, "You cool and all, but quiet down, chill out." So then we get into Derek and Monique. They taking a little selfie. Monique is no longer the photographer. She's in the pictures with them. So that's cool to see. So basically they're taking pictures. They getting ready to go to the park, I guess. Basically Derek just wants all his family kind of together to kind of give Monique a second chance. Kind of a different environment for them to just chill, eat, and chill out. So he's calling different family members, saying if they can come and pull up. So Derek is actually planning on proposing to Monique this episode. So that's going to be exciting to see. I don't know if it's going to happen this episode or next episode. Well, actually, it's the last episode. So we're going to see, y'all. We're going to see. We fast forward and we see Nathan and Skyler in the pumpkin patch. And y'all, hopefully this is the last of them that we have to see. Because they're just not giving and they're just... It's a lot to watch them, honestly. It's really draining. But... they're basically trying to plan what they're going to do for Halloween this year. And so Nathan's like, "Hey, whatever we do, I want to invite my brother." And Skyler has the nerve to say, "Well, is he going to behave? I've heard stories about him." Miss Two Bodies, we've heard stories about you too, but here you are still on our TV screen. So he's basically like, "Yeah, we'll be good. So pretty much, just to wrap them up really quick, they plan on being Frankenstein, and then she's going to be the bride of Frankenstein. And pretty much that's about it. And Nathan says to production that he plans on proposing. So, child, everybody proposing this episode look like. So we just going to see. But for the most part, with Nathan and Skyler, I just need them to wrap it up because they're trauma bonding, and I hate to see it. But fast forward to somebody we actually care about, Justine and Mike. So basically, they're getting ready to go get ice cream with the kids and Justine's mom. They're basically going to pop the news, to the kids and tell them that they have either a little brother or a little sister on the way. So they get there, and the way they do it is kind of cute. So they all got their little ice creams or whatever, and they have an extra ice cream. And then he was like, oh, looks like we got an extra one. And he was like, this goes to your little brother or your little sister. And Justine's oldest son gonna say, are you freaking kidding me? And so basically the kids are asking, like, do you want it to be a boy or a girl? And Justine's like, oh, I hope to have a girl because, I want to do things with her basically. And I want to do all the things with her that I wasn't able to do with Kylie since I was so young and stuff when I had her. And Kylie just basically immediately starts crying. So Justine kind of has to, pull her to the side. And she was like, well, I basically feel like I'm going to miss out on everything. Because at this point, Kylie has to be, like 11th grade or something like that. So at some point, she's going to move out, start her own life, start college. So she feels like she's going to miss out on the baby in that way. And then, of course, Justine saying that, she wants to do everything with the baby that she didn't do with Kylie is making her feel some type of way. So Justine basically just has to reassure her that, no one's ever going to have the bond that we have, like me and you. And she was like, even, your brothers, I don't have the same bond with them like I have with you. And I understood what she was saying, even though I don't have kids, because I've heard it before from like my mom. But it's like something about, I guess, your oldest kid is like you go through the most with them, so it's like you feel like a different bond. Doesn't mean you love your other kids any less, which is what Justine said. She was like, I love you all the same. She was like, but it's different. Basically, no one can take that place, So I really felt bad for Kylie because she already kind of said something about that in earlier episodes. So now that it's here and it's like, oh wow, you're actually having another baby, she just started breaking down crying. But I feel like Justine will be a good mom to this baby, of course, because she's a good mom to her kids now, I feel like, except for her just acting irrationally sometimes and making decisions. But I do like that she just pulled Kylie aside to kind of have that talk and reassure her, like, hey, we're still going to be us. And then Kylie even said, like, I love our relationship that we have. So I'm pretty sure that's not going to change. And yeah, I'm just waiting to see if the baby's going to be a boy or a girl now. So Monique and Derek, they arrive at the park. They kind of just setting up, getting the grill ready to put burgers on there, get the little cookout ready. So I guess they're planning on having Derek's side of, like, his dad's side of the family, and then of course his siblings all come. So I don't know, I guess him and his siblings all just have the same mom, but I guess they have different dads. So pretty much the only person who's shown up so far is Derek's dad, Derek's auntie, and then Derek's grandma. So, of course, they're the ones that, are nice to Monique and really welcoming. So they all show up, give her a hug or whatever, and they're kind of just, chilling back. And, by this time, the food's ready, they're eating and everything, and still no siblings, still no sisters. So, basically, Derek said he's not surprised. This is what they did in jail. They say, oh, I got you, or, oh, I got this, or I'll talk to you, whatever, and then just don't come through. So pretty much that's what's going on. And I forgot, because I didn't do an episode, a review last week. It'd be making me not mad, but it's just crazy how nice and welcoming that Derek's dad's side of the family is to Monique. And you tried to bug that lady house, which was crazy to me. Like, she just like, hey baby, blah 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 blah, and you just last episode you tried to put cameras in this lady's house. Like, I hope she still like you when she see the episode, because you was wrong for that, heifer. You was wrong. But anyways, yeah, so Derek says he ain't surprised. His siblings pretty much never come through. So they're waiting, and Derek's grandma is pretty much like, hey, tried to wait on them. I'm going to have to wrap this up because I'm 94 and I'm ready to go. And I was like, dang, she's 94. She looks great. But yeah, so she was like, hey, I'm 94. I got to go. So pretty much they go, and Derek and Monique are like, well, we ain't finna still be here either. So they start, packing up all the food, getting ready, putting stuff in the car. And as they're pulling out, the sisters is pulling in. And pretty much Derek is over it. He like, hey, just pull out anyway. Like, we still gonna go. Let's go. So he's trying to pull out, and then it cuts. And then it goes on to Travis and Ashley. So it goes to Travis and Ashley, and they're pretty much playing soccer outside. And then the next clip we see, they in the bed with their soccer playing outside clothes. And I was just like, that's gross. But pretty much Ashley drops the bomb, and she's like, hey, I think I'm pregnant because I'm 3 weeks late. And Travis is looking like, WTF? Like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, I don't want to tell you until I was concerned. So he was pretty much like, now you concerned? Like 3 weeks later, now you concerned? And she was like, yeah. So I guess she has a test already with her. So she finna go take a test. And Travis thinks it's smart to be like, he was basically saying like, you know, there isn't a worst time. I mean, there isn't the best time to have a kid, but there's also a worst. Pretty much implying that this is the worst time for them. Ashley goes, well, we have a roof over our head. He said it ain't our roof. I was like, please, yes, Travis, please make sense out of it. Because what? Like, I think he wants more for y'all if y'all are about to have a kid. I think he wants y'all to have y'all's own space, you know, certain stuff like that. To the point where Travis goes, oh, like, am I going to have to start robbing people? Why would you think that? No, like, get a job. Like, why is that the first thing you think of when you think, oh, I got to make some money to provide for my child? I'm finna start robbing people. People are hiring. Like, what? I was just like, okay, you're still not in the mindset we need you to be. But, I mean, at least he got a little bit of common sense. Like, hey, this is the wrong time. And Ashley is just like in La La Land somewhere thinking like, oh, it's all going to work out. We're all going to be okay. Like, it's okay to be positive, but don't be positive and stupid. Like, which one, girl? Which one? So back to Cameron and Eris. They basically in the hotel lobby, and they just talking like, you know, more about the ring and how he threw it at her. And she was basically just like, he was like, well, can I have my ring back? And she basically like dangling it over his head like, well, first I need you to be a better role model. And just all this stuff. Like, girl, you really expected him to change overnight. And his whole point is, I don't see what I did that was so wrong. He's really not taking it serious. And he basically says, I'm not about to report to my PO and you. Like, no, like, I'm gonna report to one person, and pretty much I'm an alpha male, and yeah, like, this is pretty much what it is. He does say that, you know, he wasn't in his right mind whenever he threw the ring, but I feel like I've always heard drunk people have a sober, what do they say, a sober conscience, something like that. Pretty much drunk people gonna say what's on their mind, and he was like, divorce me, throwing a ring, so take with that what you will. Like, I don't know. And she's basically just like I said, she was like, I need you to be a better role model to Lena. No, Eris, I need you to be a better role model to Lena, because I'm not saying he doesn't. I mean, yeah, he don't care about your kid like you do. And at this point, you done rushed into this relationship, making irrational decisions, and you just expect him to change overnight. No, like, if you knew he had these issues and you knew y'all were going to get married, you knew he would be around your daughter, why wouldn't you want to see if he can actually change for the better before you even bring her in a situation like that? But she's really just making it all Cameron's fault when y'all really both have fault. Like, yes, Cameron shouldn't have got blackout drunk, but at the end of the day, he had a drinking problem. Like, you was just rescuing him from his drinking problem situation whenever he proposed, and you was just like, okay. Like, no, girl, don't work like that. But pretty much for the next 60 days, Cameron is going to stay back in his city where he's at, and he's going to live with a friend while Eris goes back to Florida. So we will see how these 60 days go. She basically said if he messes up again, they're just going to end it. Pretty much end it and be done. And in my head, I'm like, you might as well end it before you leave and say y'all's goodbyes at the airport, because I don't see this ending too well at all. But then we get into Derek and Monique. So they still trying to leave the parking lot. And so, you know, the sisters have pulled up. So when the sisters pull up, you know, the taller one, the one who's always extra, she come out and she like knocking on the window. Why y'all trying to leave? We just got here. Why y'all trying to leave? Derek pretty much like, I'm over it. Y'all are late. Like, I ain't got nothing too much to say to y'all. Then he's like, Monique, drive off. So Monique trying to pull out. Why does the sister get in front of the car and do one of those like dramatic just falls? And she's like, ow, my neck, my back. Pretty much like acting like she got hurt. So you know the other sister come around tiptoeing. What happened, sister? What happened? She's like, oh, I'm hit. I'm hurt. Now, I don't really too much care for the sisters. But when I tell you I was rolling, because I was like, bro, they literally play all day. Like, they not taking this relationship serious. They just basically came for some camera time is what it's giving. Like, they want to be on Love After Lockup Sibling Edition or something. Like, they want to spin off at this point. Like, that's how they acting. So pretty much she acting hurt in front of the car, and Derek's like, just reverse and pull off. Like, me knowing, like, ain't nothing wrong with my sister. She just tripping, being her. Like, just pull off. So the sister get up pretty much, and she, oh no, before she went in front of the car, she basically like, why y'all trying to leave? Why y'all trying to leave? She was like, y'all really making me mad. I'm about to smack somebody. Monique like, who you finna smack? She basically like, you. So Monique was like, basically, we can do it right now. So Monique is just ready to fight. She's upset. So they finally pull off from the park. So they pulling off from the park. The producer's calling like, hey, where y'all finna go? So Monique's like, oh, okay, we can meet up with you. I'm just about to pull over. And Derek's like, no, don't pull over. Keep going. This is my hood. I know where to go. Let me drive. I'm just like, why aren't you driving in the first place? You don't never drive. Like, now I think about it, you don't never drive. So he basically like, this is my hood. I could drive. So Monique is going back and forth with him. She like, no, you shut the F up. And he like, no. You ain't gonna tell me to shut the F up. You shut the F up. And she said, hey, you can get in the car with your sisters. She said, you know what? You can get in the car with your sisters. I'm gonna drag you out the car. He said, you ain't finna drag me out no car. When I tell you, they was going back and forth. I was sitting here dying. Like, how did it get this far? Like, it went from the sister about to fight Monique to Monique saying she gonna drag Derek out the car so he can go get in the car with his sisters. Bruh. So pretty much that whole situation ruined the proposal, I'm guessing, because they went their separate ways. Monique was like, I'm finna get my stuff and I'm finna go. And I think she meant like back home. And Derek was like, I'm just finna get an Uber and I'm finna go back to the hotel. And the producer was like, yeah, just do that. I know the producer's like, y'all is giving my ass a headache. Every time they meet up with Monique and Derek, it's, we gotta move to this location. We gotta shake the spot, move to this location. Like, I know the producers are like, hey, whenever we film with them, can we get back up, please? Because they be doing the most. So pretty much that's what happened. Like I said, it was a whole bunch of shut the F ups going back and forth. Monique said she was going to drag Derek out the car. And when she said that, I was like, Derek, you might want to shut up because she might be able to drag you out the car. Like, because Derek looked like he my size. Like, look at this. Derek looked like he puny like me. So I was just like, don't tempt her. Don't tempt her. Please don't tempt her. Like, I think she will. We get it back to Ashley and Travis. So Ashley isn't pregnant. You know, Travis cracked a little smile. He's pretty happy. It's not like he doesn't want kids with Ashley, just not right now, which is reasonable because they're not in a position to have a kid right now. So that happened. So then we get into Justine and Mike. So they basically back at the house from telling, you know, all of Justine's kids and everything about the new baby. So Justine's kind of like, okay, well, since we told all my family, you know, go ahead and FaceTime your mama and tell her. So he's like, ooh, I don't know about that. And she basically like, no, FaceTime her. So he FaceTimes the mom and he tells his mom about the baby. And his mom is just like, already? You've only been out weeks, Michael. And he's like, yeah, mom, I know. So then she starts speaking in Spanish. And Mike put it into it real quick. He like, hey. You know I don't like when you do that. Justine don't even know Spanish. So if you got anything to say to me, you can say it to both of us. And his mama hit the, are you sure? Because I guess what she was about to say, Justine didn't want to hear. So she basically said, are you sure? She was like, well, you know, just because of the whole situation and how it's going, pretty much she's like, Justine, you wouldn't mind doing a fraternity test, right? And Justine pretty much just walks away and is like, I'm not dealing with this, Mike. You're going to have to talk to your mom about herself. Because Justine's irritated that pretty much she would even ask her something like that. So pretty much Mike says that this is not the first time that his mom has done that. Basically, she has, with or without his permission, has swabbed his kids. Basically, like, oh, let me babysit the baby. See my grandchild. Swap. You know, he was like, who do you think you are? Like, COVID testing or something like that. So pretty much, oh Lord, my laptop going dead. So pretty much, you know, Mike was just saying, like, this ain't the first time she's done this. Like, she's known for fraternity testing my kids. So pretty much, that left a bad taste in Justine's mouth because they already not on the best of terms. So I don't know how I feel about his mom really saying that. It was kind of messed up the way she said it. Like, we could have went without that mama. Like, you ain't have to do Justine like that because she's clearly head over heels for Mike. So I don't know. But then again, there's certain situations. But I was just like, that ain't cool, mama. That ain't cool. So then, yeah, so Mike says, with or without my permission, pretty much, she's gonna do it. And Justine was just like, well, whatever, joke's gonna be on her because I've only been with you. Mike really, is just talking to his mom still. And he's like, I really wanted you to be excited, and this is not how, I wanted you to act. He was like, who do you think you are, Maury? Like, that's what he's telling his mom. I'm like, nah, it's giving more of Jerry Springer because this is really messy. Like, it's giving definitely Jerry. Not Maury. Like, So pretty much, I just hope that whole relationship comes together because, like I said, they were friends before everything, like before she even met Mike. So hopefully they can get back to a place where they're at least cordial because right now it's just like you're with my son, and if you're around, I guess I have to deal with you, but I don't like you. Like that's what it really feel like. But y'all, then we get into Monique and Derek to basically close out the whole season finale, and of course they're gonna close it out with them because they give us snap, crackle, and pop. It's always something with them. So Monique is basically getting ready to go back to the hotel just with the producer because remember she was about to drag Derek out the car. So Derek said, before you drag me, let me just drag my lift and get back to the hotel that way. So he's heading back to the hotel, and Monique leaves or whatever. She gets back home. She's getting ready to meet her sister or whatever, getting dressed or whatever. Then Monique says, yeah, I check Derek's location 50 times a day because he already cheated. Hold on. Pause. If he already cheated, why are you still checking his location? Why are you even still worried about him? So basically, someone then came to Monique as a woman. Like, Barbara, this is Shirley. Someone basically told Monique, like, hey, I just want you to know what your man been doing. So this girl sent him pictures, or sent Monique pictures of Derek coming and leaving her house. The girl in her robe. It's just a lot. But meanwhile, Monique is just playing spy and FBI, and she's still tracking him. She's still doing all that. So she calls Derek and she's like, where you at? He's like, you know where I'm at. She was like, no, where you saying where you at? Your location ain't there. And he's just like, oh, well, I'm out eating. And she's like, well, turn the camera, do a 360. So she basically wants him to do one of these. And he don't do it. She was like, no. Whose plate is that next to you? Whose plate is that? And I'm just like, golly, Monique. If you got to do all this, leave Derek and take your talents to the FBI. Because, like, bruh, like, you could at least get paid for doing stuff like this. But she clearly only wants to stalk the person that she with, and she don't want to make no money from it. But I'm just like, bro, if you have to do all this, please leave. Especially once you got the text messages and the girl told you what he was doing. So she's basically like, yeah, well, I know Derek will be back, and then it's gonna be up to me to figure out if I want to be with him. You're gonna take him back because y'all were on FaceTime together, and like I said, it's either all for the money or. Like, I feel like at this point, they know that they get a check when they're together. So they're like, we going to play the fool. Or at least I feel like Derek thinks that. Monique probably really thinks like, oh, he needs her or something. Like, he needs you for a check, sweetie. And that's it. Like I said. So to wrap that up, Monique, leave Derek, take your talents to the FBI and at least get paid for it. But yeah, y'all, that was the season finale of Love After Lockup. So I don't know if it's next week or what. But Life After Lockup is going to come back. So we got a little bit of the faves coming back. And then we got, I believe, Monique and Derek and then Justine and Mike from this season. So yeah, y'all, stay tuned. All right, bye, y'all.